Hey everybody, how we all doing today? This is JaySquatch Gaming, and I'm Jay. Welcome back to Rimworld, Episode 4. We're going to start off putting down some nice chairs for our colonists. That's going to increase the work speed of the colonists as they work at the assigned workstations there, like the research bench and the stone cutting table there. Now we've got a bit of a food shortage going on, but luckily we've got the nutrient paste dispenser, which is going to help us spread that out while we hopefully find some more food. Now a wanderer joins the colony randomly, so we're going to see what she's got going on. So as a human computer, she has a high intellectual ability, which would be useful, but she's incapable of so many different skills, as well as having the pyromaniac trait, which unfortunately makes her unwelcome in our colony, so we'll have to banish her. Now that's going to have a negative mood effect on our colonists here, but I really think that's worth it over having our entire colony burned down just because she didn't like the food. Now, not long after that, Dupree and Phoebe's marriage starts, starting out with a little bit of reception. And as the ceremony ends, they start their little party, which is going to give them a bit of a mood boost as well, hopefully negating a negative mood effect from banishing that other colonist. While they're doing that, we're going to start on some real defenses for our colony, throwing up some walls, blocking off the majority of this section here. Invaders could still sneak in through that pass down to the south, but I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, we can throw down some bridges and build walls on top of those, allowing us to block that off entirely. And while we were working on that, we had some cargo pods drop with a little bit of raw fungus for us. 222 units, which is going to temporarily solve our food problem. Later on, we go back and revise our plans for our defenses a little bit. We want to move it outwards. This is going to give our colonists a little bit more time to shoot before our attackers are essentially sitting right on us. Now we're making the walls double thick here. This is a little added extra layer of protection. Just in case they feel like breaking one down, we got another one behind it. No problem. Now this is followed by a small corridor leading right into our little death area that we've created, which we're going to fill up with some traps. And once we do close off that little opening to the south, they'll essentially be forced to walk over these to get into our base. I like to add doors in between each trap, as this really kind of mitigates the chances of them building a trap or rebuilding one and having to walk back over it in order to get home. Anytime they walk over a trap, even if they just built it themselves, they do have a chance of triggering it. Those little doors just give quick, easy access during repairs, especially after a raid. That's nice. You want to be up and running, ready for the next one as soon as possible. And we've received a peace talks request from the Orange Buffalo here. Now, while it is close by and it would be nice to boost the relationship with the nearby factions, I think our colonist time would be better spent elsewhere. And now, once again realizing things aren't quite connecting, we reconnect our wind turbine there with the rest of our base, including the batteries. Things are relatively uneventful for the rest of the day. and so everybody heads off to bed. And at the dawn of the next morning, Phoebe is up first, promptly getting to work, going to grab some stone to start working on our walls. Dupree is up, really doing some research there. And Phoebe is quickly followed by Mal, who joins in the efforts to fortify our base. Now, even as Phoebe has to clear the trees and things, they should make light work of this, assuming they have enough stone to do it. In the meantime, we're going to put down some sandbags. This is going to give our colonists some decent cover, while still being able to shoot over top of it. While realizing we are desperately short on iron, we set up to have a small ore vein nearby mined out. And that should provide us plenty for what we need to do. And now we are going to set up some more growing zones right underneath the wind turbine, like I was talking about in the other episode. Having the crops grow here will stop trees and other things from growing and getting in the way of the power production of our wind turbine there. So we set to grow some heal root in our first section there. That's going to be critical as, people get injured in this game. And while we're setting up our second plot, a mad gazelle comes around. But luckily for us, we were ready this time. Everyone has their guns. We send both Mal and Dupree down to our sandbags set up, and hopefully this will be enough to take it out without any injuries. And with one shot, Dupree takes care of that for us, both solving the angry animal problem and assisting and get us a little bit more food. Everyone relaxes for a little while, heads off to bed, preparation for the next day. And the following morning, everybody's up at the same time, with Dupree getting right to work on planting those crops that we set out for him. And Mal runs off to start grabbing stone to continue work on our little defense setup down to the south there. We set Dupree to prioritize butchering the creature there, the mad gazelle that attacked, just to get that taken care of. We don't want to worry about it rotting. This way we get the food right in the fridge. And while the sandbags have been completed, it looks like we're running pretty low on the stone, so we may not quite have enough to finish up just yet. And later on in the night, a tortoise is actually self-tamed. I don't know if we have too much use for him, but we're going to keep him around for a little while. I figure why not. And we'll also set to actually start training some of our animals. The Arctic fox there is capable of hauling, so we could send him out. Well, we can't control him in any way, but we can set him to haul, and he'll run around and bring a few things home here and there for us. And while everybody's asleep, I figure now is a good time to start setting up a little home for our animals, a little stable more or less. It is nice to be able to keep them separated from the rest of the living areas, as most animals generate a little bit of filth as they walk around, which just gives our colonists one more thing that they have to deal with and clean up. It slows them down from their main task. We'll also add a little corridor blocking in the exhaust from our cooler up there. Once this is complete, it's going to essentially allow us, with these vents here, to feed warm air back into the rest of our colony, when winter finally rolls around. And now we are going to add a doorway in here, so that way we can set it to be open, just in case it happens to get a little bit too hot. We can get some cool air. And in response to our stone shortage, we're going to drop another stone cutter's table in there. It's not exactly going to double our output, but it gives our colonists the chance to work on two at the same time. And I was correct in thinking that we didn't have enough cloth to finish that second chair, so we'll just put a dining table over there, or a dining chair rather. That will still increase the speed, though I don't believe quite as much as the armchair. Following that, just about everybody's off to bed except for Dupree, but that's interrupted by an electrical fire. So we wake everybody up out of the dead of sleep. Just to take care of that. Mal starts some repairs and construction for a minute, but eventually they all decide just to go back to sleep. And during the night we prioritize feed. Start fixing a few things, though at ones that were damaged during the electrical fire earlier. But Dupree is up first, and it looks like he might just get it to it first. Nope, never mind, he's just researching. Steve is up and gets it fixed just in time to be hit by a solar flare, which shuts down all electronics once again anyways. Not to worry, this doesn't go on forever. It's usually pretty short, and we may be back up in time. But unfortunately, because the nutrient paste dispenser is down at the moment, everybody's starving, so we've got to change the food restrictions for now, just so that everybody can grab something to eat. And just like that, the power is back on, change everything back, and we're attacked by a wild boar. So a rush to get everybody set up for defensive positions. Everybody inside the base. And we didn't even have to worry about it because the boar got taken out by one of our traps anyway. Another victory for us. During that following night, stables are finally complete, so our animals have a nice place to stay. And we're going to set up an area for them here. So what this is essentially going to do is allow them to access any area except the one that we designate right here. And we can adjust this later on, but we're just going to basically block them out of the home area, excluding their home. And we'll leave the stockpile open as well, just because once that Arctic fox is trained, he'll be able to haul things and he'll be bringing things back to there. That's all I got for you today, folks. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you did. Especially drop a comment down below. I'm always happy to hear what you have to say. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.